Have you ever looked around and questioned the nature of your reality? What if everything you see, feel, and experience isn't real? What if it's all a sophisticated illusion, a computer program so advanced that it generates our entire existence? This isn't the plot of a science fiction film, but a question that has captivated philosophers and scientists alike. Are we living in a simulation? This mind-bending concept, known as the simulation hypothesis, proposes that our reality is not what it seems. It suggests that we are digital beings, our thoughts, emotions, and experiences merely lines of code in a vast, complex computer program. While it may sound like something straight out of the Matrix, the simulation hypothesis is a serious philosophical idea with profound implications. The implications of this theory are staggering. It challenges our most fundamental understanding of the universe and our place within it. If we are living in a simulation, then who are our creators? What is their purpose in creating us? And what happens if the simulation ends? These questions may seem overwhelming, even absurd. Yet, the simulation hypothesis, with its blend of science fiction and philosophical inquiry, forces us to confront the very essence of our existence. It pushes us to question the boundaries of reality and to consider the possibility that what we perceive as real may be something else entirely. The simulation hypothesis, while popularized in recent years by films like The Matrix and discussions about virtual reality, finds its roots in the work of philosopher Nick Bostrom. In his 2003 paper, Are You Living in a Computer Simulation?, Bostrom lays out a compelling argument for why we might be virtual beings. His argument hinges on the idea that if future civilizations achieve the technological capability to create such simulations, it's highly probable that they would. Bostrom's hypothesis is not based on the idea that we are definitely living in a simulation. Instead, he presents it as a thought experiment, a way to explore the potential future of technology and its implications for our understanding of reality. He argues that at least one of the following propositions must be true. 1. The human species is very likely to go extinct before reaching a post-human stage. 2. Any post-human civilization is extremely unlikely to run a significant number of simulations of their evolutionary history, or variations thereof. 3. We are almost certainly living in a computer simulation. These three propositions, while seemingly disparate, are interconnected in a way that forces us to confront the unsettling possibility that our reality might be an illusion. The first proposition, that humanity will likely go extinct before reaching a post-human stage, paints a bleak picture of our future. It suggests that we, as a species, are inherently self-destructive, destined to succumb to our own creations or to external threats before reaching a level of technological advancement capable of creating ancestor simulations. This proposition, while pessimistic, is not without merit. We are faced with a multitude of existential threats, from climate change to nuclear war, any one of which could spell the end of human civilization. The possibility that we might destroy ourselves before realizing our full potential is a sobering thought, one that underscores the fragility of our existence. However, if we assume that humanity can overcome these challenges and reach a post-human stage, then we must consider the implications of the second proposition. The second proposition delves into the motivations of these hypothetical, post-human civilizations. It suggests that even if we reach a technological level where creating ancestor simulations is possible, it's unlikely that we would do so. Why? Because it wouldn't be interesting. Imagine a civilization so advanced that they possess unimaginable computational power. Would they really choose to simulate the lives of their primitive ancestors, complete with all our flaws and limitations? Bostrom argues that it's more likely that they would focus their resources on more complex and stimulating simulations, leaving their ancestors behind in the annals of history. This proposition raises interesting questions about the nature of curiosity and the pursuit of knowledge. Would a post-human civilization with access to vast amounts of information and experiences still be interested in their own past? Or would they see it as a primitive and insignificant footnote in their evolutionary journey? Proposition 3. Reality is just lines of code. The third proposition is perhaps the most unsettling of all, that we are almost certainly living in a computer simulation. If the first two propositions are false, if humanity can reach a post-human stage, and if those civilizations choose to create ancestor simulations, then the likelihood that we are living in a simulation becomes statistically overwhelming. Think about it. If even a small fraction of post-human civilizations created ancestor simulations, the number of simulated realities would vastly outnumber the single base reality. Therefore, statistically speaking, it's more likely that we are part of a simulated reality than the original one. This proposition challenges our most fundamental assumptions about the nature of reality. It suggests that everything we perceive as real, from the chair you're sitting on to the stars in the night sky, is nothing more than information. Bits of data processed by a powerful computer program. The rise of the machine's AI and the blurring of reality. While the simulation hypothesis might seem like a purely philosophical exercise, recent advancements in technology, particularly in the fields of artificial intelligence, AI, and virtual reality, VR, have lent it a newfound sense of urgency. The rapid pace of technological progress has blurred the lines between the real and the virtual, making the possibility of a simulated reality seem less like science fiction and more like a potential future. AI in particular has made significant strides in recent years. We now have AI systems that can learn, adapt, and even create, blurring the line between human and machine intelligence. If this trend continues, it's not inconceivable that we could one day create AI so advanced that it could generate entire realities, complete with conscious inhabitants who are unaware of their true nature. Virtual worlds, real implications, gaming our way to understanding. Virtual reality too has come a long way. What was once the realm of clunky headsets and pixelated graphics has evolved into immersive, realistic experiences that can transport users to different worlds and allow them to interact with their surroundings in increasingly sophisticated ways. As VR technology continues to advance, the line between the virtual and the real will become even more blurred, making it increasingly difficult to distinguish between the two. Imagine a future where VR experiences are so realistic that they are indistinguishable from physical reality. In such a world, how would we know for sure that we are not already living in a simulation? The very act of questioning our reality could be a sign that we are in a simulation, a glitch in the matrix, so to speak. The Matrix's shadow philosophical questions in a simulated world. The simulation hypothesis, with its blend of science fiction and philosophical inquiry, raises a host of profound questions about the nature of reality, consciousness, and free will. If we are living in a simulation, then who are our creators? What is their purpose in creating us? And do we have any control over our own destinies, or are we simply puppets dancing to the tune of a pre-programmed algorithm? These questions, while unsettling, are not entirely new. Philosophers have grappled with the nature of reality for centuries, from Plato's allegory of the cave to Descartes' I think, therefore I am. The simulation hypothesis simply adds a technological twist to these age-old questions, forcing us to confront the possibility that our reality is not what it seems. What is real? A question for the ages. The question of what constitutes reality is a slippery one. If our senses can be fooled, if our experiences can be simulated, then what can we truly know about the nature of our existence? The simulation hypothesis challenges us to look beyond our immediate perceptions and to consider the possibility that the universe is far stranger and more complex than we can imagine. Some argue that if the simulation is sufficiently detailed, then it is effectively real. After all, if we cannot distinguish between a simulated experience and a real one, then does it really matter? Others, however, maintain that there is a fundamental difference between a simulated reality and a true one, even if we cannot perceive the difference. The simulation hypothesis, while intriguing, remains firmly in the realm of speculation. There is currently no scientific evidence to prove or disprove the theory, and it's unclear if there ever will be. The very nature of the hypothesis makes it difficult, if not impossible, to test empirically. Some scientists have proposed that we might be able to detect subtle glitches in the simulation, similar to the way that we can sometimes see pixels on a computer screen. Others have suggested that the very laws of physics might be different in a simulated universe, providing a clue to our true nature. However, these ideas remain highly speculative, and there is no guarantee that we will ever be able to definitively prove or disprove the simulation hypothesis. The lack of empirical evidence has led some to dismiss the simulation hypothesis as nothing more than a philosophical thought experiment. An interesting idea, but ultimately irrelevant to our understanding of the universe. Others, however, argue that the lack of evidence does not make the hypothesis any less valid. After all, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Furthermore, even if we can never definitively prove or disprove the simulation hypothesis, the very act of considering it can be a valuable exercise. It forces us to confront our assumptions about the nature of reality and to consider alternative possibilities. It can also inspire us to think more critically about the rapid pace of technological advancement and its potential implications for the future of humanity. The simulation hypothesis, like many great mysteries, is likely to remain unresolved for the foreseeable future. We may never know for sure whether we are living in a simulation or not, but perhaps that's part of what makes the idea so compelling. It speaks to our innate curiosity, our desire to understand the universe and our place within it. The allure of the unknown is a powerful force, driving us to explore, to question, and to imagine. The simulation hypothesis, with its blend of science fiction and philosophical inquiry, captures this sense of wonder and invites us to consider the possibility that reality is far stranger and more complex than we can imagine. In the end, whether we are living in a simulation or not may be beside the point. The true value of the simulation hypothesis lies in its ability to challenge our assumptions, to spark our imaginations, and to inspire us to explore the vast and mysterious universe around us. It reminds us that there is still much that we don't know, and that the pursuit of knowledge is an ongoing journey, not a destination. So the next time you look up at the night sky or marvel at the complexity of the natural world, take a moment to consider the possibility that you might be witnessing a simulation, a carefully crafted illusion. It might just change the way you see the world.